Security. You see how it works, guys? It's like,
and especially with the security side of things. So you know, the biggest hang up I know when I was coming through is people finding the $500 to get the initial licensing done with this.
Right.
It's free. It's free. It blows my freaking mind. I met with a lady that deals in real estate that I'm meeting with this week. She's the area recruiter for a real estate company, and she was going over all the crap that they have to do to become a broker. Right? Because that's her goal. And it's so, and people look at one versus the other. It's so difficult and expensive to do on that side. And ours, we pay for everything. All you got to do is take what you just went over there and get obsessed with it for 6 months. And then if you get obsessed with it for the next 6 months after that, you'll make $100,000.
So that brings up the star theory, the environment, 100%. And it happens that much faster when there's 5, 10 people
It'll
doing it at the same time.
So excellent class.
Good stuff. Anybody else from today? Dan?
It's more of a question. Back to the emotional and the logical. Why is it that, I mean, I don't know how to answer this really. Why is it that we focus so much and emotionally you start focusing on what you're not accomplishing, which creates a ripple effect and creates a lack of activity? I guess that's what it is. Why? I wonder why that is. I mean,
there's books and videos on all that stuff, like The Secret, and Outwitting the Devil. I can give you. There's some great books you can get right now on changing that mindset. The Secret, Outwitting the Devil. It's. I don't understand it either. But I do understand this. It's what we focus on and what we talk about most. I do understand that. And that's why we're growing right now. We're talking about growing attendance. We're talking about promotions. We're talking about the 7 points, and I'm not getting off of it. Once we start recognizing what we want to have grow and get off of all those things don't come up because there's so much going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now you just got to be making sure that you're driving your income, you're doing those 7 points, and next thing you know, the whole office feeds off of your success.
I would say, as far as the numbers is concerned, people get emotional because even though we deny it, people still have a gambling mentality. They don't focus on 10, they go get 3, and really, really deep down want all the success
from that one,
from the 3. And they don't sit there and say, okay, well, you know what, my business is like Keith Otto said. I love the example he used when he got the golf instructor. You ever heard that? He was up there and he was hitting the ball. Every time he hit the ball went that way. And the instructor that he was paying like $200 an hour was saying, good shot. And the ball kept going that way. Finally, he got pissed off and said, dude, are you kidding me? The ball keeps going that way. Why do you keep telling me good shot? He said, because the ball is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Because that's how you have your club.
He said, because that's how you swing it. Now, if you hit the ball with the club face open and it goes that way, then we got a problem. And so think about it. He was getting emotional. He wanted to be fixed. And he said, look, the ball is doing your business is doing exactly what it's supposed to do with 2 recruits or 30.
That's right.
You can't get pissed off when you got 2 recruits and wanting Troy's type of business. It never, ever will happen. So in theory, that is by definition the gambler mentality. You want a 35-to-1 odds, put $1 up, win $35. You got to focus on committing to the numbers, and once you get there, it takes care of itself.
By the way, here's the point. If you didn't get, that's a story right there. He just gave a story and also defend. So he's getting you to defend it logically, and he's getting your emotions, and he's making you see it in vivid. How many of y'all saw The Golfer? Yeah. How many of y'all actually saw it? Yeah. You saw it, and the next thing you know, he was able to correct you in your business because of that one story, and it was totally different than Primerica through a story.
It was just like a court case.
There it is. There it is. So it's stories, guys. Yeah, it's good. Kirby.
I mean, as far as
easy, man.
As far as the training today, as far as the slides, is laser beam focused, and that's why you're getting off track, because you don't have a clear focus on what you want to accomplish. And that's something that I had to do whenever I was making my run to regional vice president. Is if you have a lot of distractions in mind, that means you're not focused on your goal. I mean, that's my perspective on it, because you have so many things that's coming into your mind and you're focusing on that versus your goal. But if you have a laser beam focused on your goal, you're not going to be thinking about everything else. You're going to be focusing on your goal. Also, as far as the family deal, as far as you separate yourself from that, if you're not doing daily activities to help you get closer to your goal, I mean, you're not going to have a laser beam focus. It's not going to happen. I literally had my daughter come up to me and ask me, she was kind of doubting me in my regional vice president run, stating that why I'm not spending time with him, why I'm never home, why I'm not. I mean, she was actually doubting me as far as, why don't you go back and do what you're doing? You're spending a little more time with us. But it was only for a short period of time. Look, that hurt me like crazy. And you said, and then I had to realize, say, you know what? I need to collapse more time frames. I got to get it done now. Why? That way I don't have to prolong it. I don't have to keep distancing myself from my family and staying away from them as much. So yeah, as far as staying away, yeah, it's gonna have to happen. But will it take you 2 years, or will it take you a month, or 3 months? You make that decision by putting your goals together and focusing on your goal.
So in Daniel's perspective, he's real fanatic about working out, right? So I promise you, he misses 3 workouts. He's already looking at himself in the mirror going, he won't even look in the mirror because he's like, oh my gosh, my shirts are loose and it's not like my thighs ain't poking out, my traps ain't over the top, right? And look, I can relate because I used to be like that, right? Because that was my focus, okay? So I'm trying to help you out through a story here that can relate to you. You don't let that, you don't miss nothing. You eat the right, you see what I'm saying? It's like when you're on it, you're on it. You know the result that comes from that. Same thing in Primerica. You do these things here, guess what? The result's going to be this, right? It's not because you're Daniel, it's not because of Shade or whoever else. It's because you did the what? The things required to be successful. And that's why you can hot air balloon yourself to another city and start from scratch and build it from scratch. It just depends on where you want to live.
What I like about this is that it gives you, it tells you exactly what you need to do to get, because everybody's doing it to be an RVP. So what you and Kirby did, Kirby showed the numbers.
Right.
The numbers did move to what your slide showed. But when you do the numbers, then you go to RVP. It shows you the step by step how to do that. So it's like common sense, just do that. You know, and that's what I just seen. You know, and actually.
And if you don't do that, he showed 0 to 5 recruits what you could expect from that, right?
Yeah. And so what I like exactly what the slide showed is that in October 2012, 5,000 in production on 3 recruits. So I'm looking at my business like this. I'm on 4,000 right now. I'm recruits. Like, damn, I'm on track. So let me up my game up and do more. Wow. And I start to see, you know, my mindset just changed. Like all of a sudden, like, okay, damn, he gave me a play. Just run the play. Don't try to do this and go over there and try to do big case whatever. Like, just do this.
So would you agree that from what he talked about to this, and what we did on Saturday ties into moving people towards the vision is more what? Pictures.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Right? Just more pictures, and we want to have who's going to be a picture on the wall that's going to go across. Bam. And then who's going to move from the picture to get the second diamond? Who's going to be the first to the second diamond? Who's going to be the first to the third diamond? Who's going to be the first to have a ring wearer? Right? So now we start segregating the boards appropriately where next thing you know, if you're a diamond wearer and a second diamond, you get a bigger picture. You have a hierarchy, they all go underneath you, you know what I'm saying? Well, 8 by 10s with your big 20 by 30 or whatever it is, right? Your wall picture, right? And now guess what? The whole office explodes because we're moving towards something and then people see it happening. Okay.
Just go back to the month breakdown. Like exactly, it says every goal is set in October, November, December. Every goal is a different premium goal and different recruiting goals. So you focus on that. You're just going to keep building and keep building it so you know you're on track.
Nice. Good stuff. You fired up?
Yeah.
All right. Good. So you start seeing how it all comes together, driving attendance, driving appointments. All right. Anybody else from today? Go ahead, Dave. Thanks you guys for hanging in.
What I got out of is actually rededication and refocus. I understand I'm on the team, but it's just like, you know, playing football. If you have a fumbling problem, you could do 2 things. You either cry about fumbling and quit playing football and say, I can't play because I'm always fumbling, or you can go back and just recorrect what you're doing and hold on to the ball properly, start hitting the hole and scoring a touchdown.
Plus, they got drills for that. They got drills where the coaches get on the side, players get on the side, and tries to knock the ball out of you when you're running, and you hold the ball properly, right?
Right. So my whole thing from personally is just like, you know, is my rededication, refocus to my business and what I'm doing. I have to understand that what I was doing before, I was fumbling the ball. So now I have to focus on what I have to do to keep that ball tight and start scoring touchdowns.
Let me give it to you real quick for you.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Ready?
Yeah.
When's the last time you got 3 recruits in a month? Personal.
Actually, last month was my biggest month I had too.
So watch. Look at what I just did. Go get 3 and 3 this month. Go get the golf shirt. Y'all see what I just did?
Yeah.
I get all the other stuff. Don't worry. That's where you're at right now. Right? Go knock down 3 and 3 and get in that select group of people. Okay? Now, by you doing that, would you agree the 3 recruits you just brought on board want to get the what? Shirt too. Right? It carries over. So now, guess what? What your next goal will be is you don't get in Primerica until you do 10 recruits.
Right.
So the reason why you're going through all this stuff, I'm rededicated, I'm recommitted, is because you ain't never done 10 recruits. So you're always trying to start. Yes, it's very frustrating. So guess what? Go do 3 and 3 to get to what? 10 and 10. Hopefully that helps everybody. Because you wouldn't be frustrated unless if you were doing 10 and 10. because you're on your way. Okay, guys? Anybody else from today? Jennifer?
No, I keep going back in my mind though too, and it was really deep when we did this before, but the power of the subconscious mind and
Right.
how
A class
your
on
mind
that.
can only think of one thing at a time. So Daniel's question was,
Yes.
so if here you're thinking about paying the bills, but here you're thinking about getting 10 recruits, you can't do both. But if you get the 10 recruits, it's going to take care of the other part. So the other half's going to shut down. I mean, it's really deep stuff, but it's
I mean,
really
I would
true.
agree. Because as he was speaking, I promise his close friend right there is already thinking, because this is how I was thinking, because I knew where he was. It was like, how the hell is this guy going to go RVP? Based on the way he was thinking, he was kind of like, you know, it just wasn't, he wasn't, you know what I'm talking, the numbers weren't showing. I was like, then he just went, boom, he turned it on. How did he turn it on?
Well,
He just told you how.
And his wife said, what did your wife say? She told us Saturday. Okay, you said you could do it again?
Oh, yeah.
This is it. You go do it. I don't want to hear about it ever
Right.
again. And
Right.
I mean, but sometimes it takes that. So in your mind, you turn that part on, and nothing else mattered for those 6 months.
Yes. Hey, giving you a good book to read at night. Release your brakes.
Yeah.
The whole book is about how to fix what you just said. The whole book.
I got it? That's work, isn't it?
Yep.
Self-improvement. What did it say? Self-improve, self-improve, self-improve.
Master.
If anyone has challenge with goal setting, though, our Thursday class this week specifically is the 8 steps to proper goal setting according to Success is Not an Accident. It's good. He's the top guy.
He's the what? Oh,
He's
the
the
five.
five guy.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it. Rhinos? Hey, would y'all agree with 14 people not being here? It makes a difference. Let them know.